When we talked about that report and about the suicide prevention organisations that are reporting that back, that 74% of people that are calling them a part of the mix is cost of living. As I said, it knocked me on my ass a couple of days ago, but we have had hundreds of people reach out to explain that this is very real, it is very dire. We have now had every single month of this government, 5 in total this year, interest rate rises, and it looks like we're going to get more. Yet you have a government that sort of peacock around in question time, media generally trying to keep the new car smell. People are genuinely hurting right now, and the idea that a government that pretended to be for them is just going to get in the com car and leave them in their dust.
I think it's unconscionable, and at the same time, you've got the Attorney General of the country with his listing of 20 different funds that his self-managed super fund is investing into, and as we point out, one that in particular that raises very real concerns, and the contempt that the Prime Minister is showing toward the public at the moment. I think it's palpable. I think people see the hubris and see they're obviously excited they've won the election, but I think the problem is that they've left people behind, and the rising interest rate is one issue for families to deal with, and certainly small businesses with overdrafts and credit facilities otherwise. But the energy issue is a huge one, Paul. I mean, if you look at what's happened in Germany, where they're rationing power, in California at the moment they're talking about rolling blackouts. In the United Kingdom, you're talking about families and pensioners who won't be able to turn on their heating or their air conditioning during summer or winter. This is a very real consequence of this belief that you can just pump 100% of renewables into the system and somehow make believe that that's going to keep the lights on over night time. It's inconceivable. It's against science, common sense, and yet you've got Chris Bowen parading around at the moment, spruiking the fact that their investment in renewables is going up. Well, they're not firming, and if they don't firm, the lights don't stay on over night time. I very much worry that our country, maybe not this year, maybe not next, but over the next few years, we are going to see under the Labor government not just an increase in power prices, but also an uncertainty around the reliability of our energy and gas supply. And I'll tell you what that means for a lot of manufacturing businesses. They say, well, we're not going to stay in Australia. We're going to take those manufacturing jobs offshore. There's no net benefit to the environment, probably a worse environmental outcome, and we lose the benefit of those jobs in Australia. We lose the benefit of that economic multiplier here. So I think the Prime Minister is digging himself into all sorts of difficult holes, and of course he's now ceded enormous power across to the union movement, which again is going to be very difficult for small businesses to negotiate.
Absolutely. Peter Dutton is a straight shooter and his aim is good. This guy is going to go very well and fight for people like you.